Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Outside the Box and the Wealth Around Us. This episode I wanted to go over kind of some humorous anecdotal stuff, but this episode was going to be thinking outside the box in the kitchen. One of the things we ended up investing in is this here Presto pressure cooker. It's a little fancier than some, but it's basically the same thing. And getting to know it and getting to use work with it was a little unnerving for me because it felt a lot like standing next to a bomb. But yeah, I mean, it hasn't blown up or anything yet. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to do a whole roasted chicken in a pressure cooker. And this is only going to take a short amount of time. So let me just show you what you'll need. You will need a chicken. You'll need some rosemary, celery, and that right there, which is carrot, and you're gonna need a bottle of white wine for this, as well as whatever spices you like. I'm gonna keep it real simple, just little herbs de Provence and salt and pepper, and olive oil. And we're gonna do the entire thing in that. And I made one last night, and I'm gonna plan on making doing this one and using leftovers from that one and the night before to make a chicken stew. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and show you how we get started here. So let me just heat things up and get this processed, and we will come on to the next scene. Okay guys, let's get started here. To start with, we are going to get that about medium high. I'd say up on about 7, maybe even a little bit under 8. Yeah, we want that to be nice and hot. We're going to use a really light oil, like a grapeseed oil. As you can see, that's already smoking, so this is probably as good time as any to go ahead and throw the pre-spiced chicken in there, breast side down, spiced up, ready to go. Very gently so we don't get splattered. And there is going to be, a little bit of smoke. We're going to sear it all the way around. We're going to put it on its other side, and then back after we're browned real good on this. And then we're going to throw that on. So I'll bring you back up to date when we're a little bit farther ahead. Okay. Now as we're waiting for this, as you can see, to start with, we're getting that nice sear on there. That's exactly what we're looking for. Okay, so now that, as you can see, it's nicely seared all the way around, we're just going to move it aside here in the pot and get a little room on each side. Sits right in here. Goes the rosemary. And the carrots, celery, and onions. So we're just going to kind of pile her in around there. Get a little room on top of that. Let it get worked down in there nice and good. That smells good already. A couple more sprigs of rosemary. And put those on top of the meat there. And finally, we're going to add the cup of white wine as the liquid. Okay, now you're going to want to check your port right there, blow through it, make sure that it's clear. And we're going to line these arrows, put the top on, and the pressure regulator, and now we're going to turn it up to high. And this is where things start getting a little bit spooky, so I'll set her up here in a minute when she gets going. Alright, now, first time I ever went to use one of these, I was like standing across the room. I was too afraid to be next to it, but here's what's going to happen now. You'll see the steam escaping. Once it starts building up, it's going to pop up a little lock that makes it where you can't take off that lid when there's pressure in there. And that pressure is going to build and build and build. And then this little guy here is going to start, and it's going to start rocking. Here, I'm waiting to see, demonstrate right here where the vent is. Eventually here, when it gets so hot, it's going to shut this thing down. We'll wait and see what that looks like, if it'll happen anytime soon. And it smells good in here already. Oh my God, just that white wine and the onions and the carrots and the aromatics and the lemons that you stuff the thing with, and it's just something to behold. But that smell right now is just like, oh, it's like the finest restaurant. Okay, now that we got that occurred just a second ago, now you start to see why I was a little bit leery of this thing to start with, because yeah, it's friggin' scary, but it makes some really great food and it's got a million and one uses. So let's just start the timer here. You start the timer always only after that starts happening. Enter time here. We're gonna only do it for about 20 minutes, believe it or not. And I've never seen it this quick to do, but this makes a whole damn chicken in about 20 minutes, and you got to let it cool down for another 16 or so. The pressure will eventually drop off by itself, and then you open it up and it's ready to serve. It comes right out of the oven in about 30 minutes. What you're going to do now is slowly reduce the heat so that the rocking doesn't become violent. I like to turn it down to about 8 and it's fine. Too much steam is escaping like that, so you got to kind of scale it back, and as you can see, as it responds to the, yeah, it's going a little too good right there. But as it starts to cool back down, it will steady out. And that's about what you're looking at right there. It just, again, the smell in here is unbelievable. And that's right about there is where you want it. That gentle rocking. So you can probably relate to why I'd be scared to stand near this damn thing, because it looks like it's building up a lot of pressure in there, but who knows? I think it's like 8 to 6 or 6 to 8 pounds of pressure per square inch in there. So yeah, what this does is it forces the steam, you know, and all that aromatics and everything and the lemon essentials into the meat. And it'll come out like just fall apart tender, just beautifully done. So we'll give you a look at it when we take the lid off here. Okay, so now that the timer is going off and 20 minutes are up, we're just going to turn the burner off, and we're going to actually move the pressure cooker to a cold side and let it continue like that until its pressure valve stops rocking and shaking and all that. We're going to give it a good 10 minutes before we touch anything, and then we're going to come over here and pull the steam valve off and wait until it's depressurized and the little lockout block drops and lets you turn the handle. Okay, well, as you can see right here, the vent is going. You can feel the heat escaping from there. So now I'm going to pull the regulator. Yeah, we're looking good there. And that is nice and hot. And pretty soon, all right, there it went. Now there's no pressure in there. It's safe to take the lid off. Whew. But it is very hot and wet. But I think I will get you a close-up here shortly. Everything is done just absolutely perfect, and it's a great way to do potatoes too, because it only takes like a third of the time normal cooking takes. And this type of I made this last night, and this one looks like it smells like it turned out way better. So we'll get you an update here when we got plated. As you can see, it's just that was just from taking it out, but it is like fall off the bone tender, every piece of it, and the essential oils from that lemon that was inside of there and the rosemary and stuff, it just got forced into the meat, and it's like a chemical reaction or something. It just smells absolutely awesome. So let's plate her up for you and see what she looks like. Well guys, here it is. As you can see, that it becomes this kind of dark, really rich wine broth, and you serve that, you spoon it over it. But yeah, this is a really good looking meal, so if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna retire back a little bit and sit here and devour my pressure cooker chicken. Just a little outside the box. It's different, you know. You can do it with a pressure cooker. Theoretically, you could do it out in the field if you watch the temperature very well. and just it's yummy. So thanks for watching, everybody, and always remember, there's a wealth around you. Think outside the box.